Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam when it comes to the matter of communication. Today's topic is about ar-rifq fil kalam, leniency in speech. This is something that we find in the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the purpose behind this is to have the right choice of words. When we speak to people, we can say one thing in many different ways. But we have to choose the right words so that the effects, al-kalam, when the statement comes out, it has an effect, it has a value. And that kalam makes the value of the mutakallim himself. The choices of words that we pick in our conversation, it tells exactly what type of person this individual is. And we find in the teachings of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam that one of the gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him was jawami al-kalim, which the hadith describes in the riwayat of Sunan al-Tirmidhi, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Utitu jawami al-kalim," I have been given the most eloquent speech or the most eloquent way of speaking. What is jawami al-kalim? Minimum words, maximum meaning. The one which has very least amount of conversation, but the message that you will want to get across, it delivers in such an effective way that a person has no choice but to accept. And this is what we learn in the teachings of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, once he was sitting, and along with him was his beloved wife Aisha radiallahu anha. And there some people came and they start to manipulate the words of greeting, and instead of saying the words of greeting, they were actually, trying to curse, na'udhu billah, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So as soon as the wife al-Mu'mineen Aisha radiallahu anha heard the statement of these people, she got really upset. Because to them, Nabi alayhi salam was their entire world. Their entire life, the entire day would revolve around the teachings, around living right next to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Upon this, even though the individual was the one that brought this and he initiated the conversation with the wrong choices of words, but Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told Aisha that, Ya Aisha, amhil, take it easy. Irfiqi, make your speech very lenient, very nice. So Aisha radiallahu anha says, Ya Rasulullah, didn't you see what these people were saying by manipulating the words, and they wanted to put curse upon you? Then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Ama sami'ti ma qultu lahu. Didn't you hear what I told them? I said, Wa alaykum, whatever you're trying to, send upon me, may Allah bring that upon you. But understand, فَإِنَّ الرِّفْقَ, indeed, leniency in speech, إِذَا خَلَطَ بِشَيْءٍ زَانَهُ. Whenever you mix it with any situation, it will always shine. It was always shine. Remember, imagine you have a very tense situation where two people are trying to get to each other, or they're trying to have, verbal attack upon each other, and then you choose the most lenient words. It's just going to make the entire conversation, an entire situation change. And then you can have the best gathering, you can have the best conversation, but if there is no lenient, if there is no right choices that you pick to speak with, the right words that you choose to speak with, then it just makes the entire situation worse. It just ruins the entire momentum, entire situation, entire conversation. So this is what we learn when we interact with each other, either physically or over social media. Many of times a person is more lenient when he's physically conversating with someone, but when he goes over social media, it's a completely different individual, and we've talked about that before. But our choices of words that we use because especially over social media, we have to be extra careful. Why? Because there is no facial expressions. Sometimes by you not choosing the right word to write can make the entire sentence mean something else. Why this person is so mean to me? Why did he say this to me? You take a screenshot and then you start manipulating the words. So first and foremost thing, of course, we've already talked about not doing that. But when we are writing a message to someone, we have to choose the right words. And especially when we are communicating over social media or via text, we have to be very careful because there is no facial expression. Sometimes you're not choosing the right words, but the person is looking at you and he sees a smile on your face while you might have said something that had offended him. He's going to take it as ease. He's going to take it as a joke. Why? Because he sees your facial expression and through that he can understand. But via text you cannot do that. And a lot of time disputes create like this when we don't choose the right words when we communicate with individual. And this is a very important teaching that we learn from the Prophet ﷺ when it comes to communication. That may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the understanding and the ability to bring our practice on this. Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka.